welcome to our time together. I'm Lori Lamantia, and I'm here with the stunningly beautiful Trisha Fisk. She's got this gorgeous green shirt on today.
Well, good morning, everybody.
And today we're going to talk about wealth consciousness. And the way we're going to talk about it today is, of course, about developing it and giving yourself permission to really lean into wealth consciousness. The other day when I was meditating, I got that really, what's the antidote to all the stuff that's going on in the world today? There is so much.
Mm.
It's scary. And I was like, what do you lean into? And I got clear as a bell, wealth consciousness, that this consciousness that we've been developing around prosperity and wealth and grace is exactly what we need to lean into whenever we're afraid or overwhelmed or confused. There's so many of those things that are coming up for us. And truly, wealth consciousness, the understanding that we're in the middle of a love hug almost all the time, and that there's abundance and prosperity that's constantly flowing through us, around us, and to us as us is the thing that I think we're being asked to lean into and really cultivate in these times. And it's a blessing for ourselves, for sure. And it's a generous, wonderful thing we can do for the world right now. And of course, wealth consciousness, people want to call it just, most people, when they think about wealth consciousness, they think about money. And it's that too, that, there's security and there's safety, and all that good stuff too that comes and flow, monetary flow. But wealth consciousness that we're talking about today is this expanded embracement of all things magical, including money and including the wealth that is, a wherewithal. So today we're just going to explore that a little bit more and, kind of articulate some of the concepts behind wealth consciousness. And of course, encourage you to develop it, lean into it, journal about it, reflect on it, think about it as something that is really something that you can hold in your heart for these times that are seemingly, unfathomable in so many ways. So, Trish, I'm going to turn it over to you. And, I would want you to talk about love consciousness as you see it, especially from a yogic tantra perspective.
Mm. Yeah, so I personally, in addition to all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, um, I've over the last couple of weeks have had experiences with seniors, one nearing the edge of a neighbor near the end of his life, a family member kind of going crazy and not taking good care of himself, and a sister who is in memory care. And I'm finding that the best thing I can do is allow the feelings of sadness, grief, all those feelings to come up when they come up and feel them, and then come back to this consciousness of divine grace and wealth, that it's not leaving us, even when things happen in the world that are scary and uncertain. And this divine consciousness never goes away. And it's about always coming back and leaning into it.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I mean, yoga helps me, doing some asana, pranayama, and meditating and being really consistent with that really supports me at times like this, because we do have to make decisions. We do have to step in and handle things, change. But we really need to remember that we're still being held divinely, that it's not a punishment of any kind. Um, and we have a choice about where we put our energy, and then that influences when we're around other people, whether we're positive, hopeful, willing to just do what we need to do and feel what we need to feel, but not try to run away from it. That's a big deal.
Hmm. Absolutely. And
Deal.
I think it's like what we were talking about last week with weird grace, that the way life unfolds can be weird or unexpected or downright, harsh sometimes. But the if we can lean into the what I feel is the wealth part is that life is always saying working out for the highest and best good of all, and we take different routes to get there, but there is this love, and I kind of feel wealth equals love and love equals wealth. And the reason why I like the word wealth is because it feels expansive and it feels like it comes from your heart. There's a grace and a graciousness, a generosity, of flow and so you can feel when you feel wealthy. And I think this is one of the things is it's not just an idea. It's that when you feel wealthy, you feel capable, you feel empowered, you feel complete. These are words that I've, really been cultivating around. You feel satisfied around, the wealth consciousness. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it like this because I wanted to bring it more into the tangible, the 3D, because when we talk about love, it can feel hairy-fairy, or when we talk about the divine, it can feel out there. How do we make it tangible in our bodies, first, second, third, fourth, five, six, seven chakra, the whole fountain of flow, Kundalini rising. And to me, the wealth word and abundance, not so much, but wealth, pull it from the first, second, third chakra so that you can feel the energy rise within you. And that matters, especially when it feels like, we don't have choices in some of this stuff that's going on. Would I do what's going on? Probably not, but that's not, I know the best I can do is stand in my wealth consciousness, flow, love, and, the knowledge that life is working out and um miracles happen. There's power and fire and all kinds of amazing stuff that can happen from all of this. And that is, to me, wealth consciousness.
Beautifully said. Yes. And I will go back to our conscious creating through yoga. Um, trust what you desire desires you. And that's a big one too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Wants you as much as you want.
Yeah, that's wealth conscious. I want love. I want peace. Yes, it wants that for me too. Life is a huge yes machine. It's saying yes, yes, yes. I was thinking about being a prosperity coach and just sitting and listening to people and then saying yes. You know, this is my wish. I would love that. Yes, but I can't have it. Yes. And just kind of yes and then see how it feels, because life always says yes to us. So why not decide what we're going to be said yes to? And I think wealth consciousness, again, moves us from that feeling like, no, not yet, to yes, or maybe even something better, or there's a yes that's inherent with I hear it's our vibration of what we desire pulls the response I want it to for you.
Beautifully, beautifully said. Yes. And the other thing here is release attachment and expectation. T.S. Eliot, for us, there is only the trying. The rest is not our business. Yep, let go of attachment and just be open to and say yes to the wealth that's coming to you, because often we don't know we don't even know what it is.
No, and we'd like, life has something even probably better that we couldn't have even considered. That's wealth consciousness, there could be something even better that we could open up to because there is that infinite intelligence. We talked about that last week, that
Yes.
there's this intelligence that's behind it. And when we can lean into it, which again to me is wealth consciousness, we're taking a breath and we're slowing ourselves down and saying, life's got me, life's got my back, life's, taking care of us. And it really matters when you feel your mind squirreling out and going cuckoo bananas, which mine has been doing lately. And even though I've been doing this for years with wealth consciousness, that my human moments are, I'm still, it's not there 100%. But I know I can lean into it when I go, hey, wait a second, Laura, slow
Right.
yourself down.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, moving in and out of it is part of our work, if you will.
yeah,
But yeah, that's why we always were saying earlier on when we started doing this, it's about building a muscle. And that muscle is that, oh, I have been thinking so small or worrying about this so much that I forgot that there's this infinite wealth and possibilities around me. So I think I'll go back there,
right.
out in that space.
Well, and as you do that, you marinate it and you realize it is you and you are it. You don't consider separation anymore.
Right.
And of course, that is the journey. But as you settle down into it and slow yourself down, and I like the word marinate because it's a juicier word, than meditate sometimes. Because I think meditate people think of, which is of course quieting the mind. But if you can marinate in it,
Right.
that
Yeah.
feeling of
Yeah. Let's clear,
well-being.
when you're meditating and quieting the mind, it's not to just sit in silence, it's to hear the voice of the divine come and speak to you. So, but if you don't meditate a lot,
You can marinate.
you can absolutely meditating.
Yeah. And and I think of course we're just talking in general about wealth consciousness, but I do think it is worth a moment of everyone's time to sit down and feel, what does it feel like when I feel truly wealthy, when I feel truly cared for, when and sometimes you might have to slow yourself down a lot because there's a lot going on, so I think that's why they said keep holy the Sabbath day, unplug on a Sunday or pick a day and
Right.
totally unplug in every way. No TV, no talking, no social media, so that you can start to slow down because that wealth and well-being that's all around us is all around us. It's just, I think it just sometimes it bounces off because we're so busy in our minds. We're so distracted. That doesn't mean that wealth isn't there. It's that we aren't noticing it, and that's different.
Right. But it is always there. It is
Yes.
right. It is our choice, our gift to step into it or not.
Right.
Um, right.
Yeah.
No matter what the circumstances are. So that brings me to, I wanted to share this beautiful poem by Rumi called The Guest House, which beautifully says it all. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and attend them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Wow.
So everything is a guide back to wealth consciousness. Everything. Even if you don't get away and it seems sorrowful.
Well, yeah, right. Because clearing can be, and change can be, um, and evolution can be, and I think this is why maybe I've been so called to lean into trusting, like you said, that energy. And we all have history, right? We have our lineage, we have our genetics, we have our how we were brought up. That's all history. And depending on how safe and secure and loved you felt, you might be having some resistance to, well, is it really well-being? Is it real? Am I really be loved? Is it really abundant? I haven't experienced that. I respect that. I totally do. Um, and I think a great gift to ourselves when we say that might be only the start, but it's not what really is the big truth. And that puts us on the journey. What's life about, why, all that stuff, so we can come to this development of a deep and abiding appreciation of the wealth and the generosity and the constant flow that is with us always and in all ways. And when we welcome them as they knock on the door and say, hey, guest, thanks for being here.
Come on in, right?
Come on in. Can I offer you some tea? So I hope people are feeling, and we obviously we're not doing the deep dive here, but it's an invitation to everyone as they look around and feel and become maybe afraid, or whatever might become bubbling up for you, welcome it and know that it's part of this journey towards true wealth consciousness, which is you are wealth and wealth is always available to you as you. So enjoy it, really. Have fun with it. Because then you get to play with it. You get to have fun with it. And it was like, oh, you're always saying yes to me? Okay, well, now let's take that for a ride, right? So is there anything else you want to add, Trish?
Yes. So these are also from Conscious Creating Through Yoga. Life is constantly sharing and giving, conspiring to help you. You're not alone and you're never by yourself. And finally, joy is a choice. Agree that life is conspiring to help you out.
Beautiful.
Wealth consciousness.
That is right. Amen to that. Righty. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and marinate in your wealth. Feel it, enjoy it, get all juicy in it. And we'll see you next week. Namaste.
All right. Swaha, everyone.
Lots of love.